Okie dokie, artichoke, what is going on? Beautiful people. So we are back with another Friday Live coming at you. So hopefully this is a little bit better. We tried this location last week and it was a little choppy, but let me know if this is coming through okay. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, and we'll get going, okay? So, couple things we got for you real quick. What is going on, Bailey? Let me know a few things when you're tuning in. Let me know your first name or your name, and then let me know where you're tuning in from, and then let me know something really good that's going on in your life right now because I want to celebrate you guys, okay? So, I will start it off. And so, my name is Connor. If you don't know, I am from Pittsburgh. And something really good that's going on in my life right now. Let's see, what do we got here? I feel like I'm in like a little like period of time where like I'm just not doing much. So I'm just like doing my work, helping my clients, and we've been doing a lot of check-ins today. So that is something good that's going on in my life. Let me know what your name is. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and let me know something really good that's going on in your life right now, okay? All right, so let's see who we got here. So we got, we've got Portugal in the house. Okay, we love Portugal. Okay, go Portugal. We got Nick from California. What is going on, Nick? We got Andy from Cape Town, South Africa. Okay, love that. Chandra from Buffalo. What is going on, Chandra? Let's see, who else we got here? Ivy from New York is a travel agent experiencing life in the wonderful destinations undiscovered. That's cool. Welcome, Ivy. I'm glad you're here. We got Minnesota, Tammy from Minnesota. What is going on, Tammy? We got Ramon from Houston. Glad it's Friday. Congratulations on your baptism. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. We got Sophie from near Pittsburgh, PA. She just got back from Paris yesterday. Let's go. Okay, Sophie. I've never been to Paris before, but that sounds pretty freaking cool. We got Callie from New York. We got Puerto Rico, Yvette from Puerto Rico. Okay. We got Dibs from Malaysia. She just finished her, or he, I'm going to assume that's a she. I don't know. I'm sorry if that's wrong. Just finished your degree. We love that. We got Tunisia in the house. We got Dallas in the house. Bailey is finally moving on Monday. Let's go, Bailey. Bailey's moving to Dallas. Let's go, Bailey. She's excited. We got Liverpool. And he's feeling good, not smoking or drinking for a month now. Oh, that's freaking awesome, man. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on that. Let's make that 2 months, yeah? All right, we got Jersey in the house. We got James from Sacramento. What's going on, James? Long time no see. Sean from New Mexico. Kaya from Kenya. That's fun to say. We got Stephanie from Mesa, Arizona. We got Bobby from Florida. Cape Town loves you. Okay, we love Cape Town. That's right. Kara from Illinois. Bolivia. PJ from DC. Who else? Tracy from the southern state of Tennessee. All right. We love Tennessee. We like it here. Greetings from Mexico. I'm Julio Alberto. What's going on, Julio? Thank you for joining. We got Massachusetts in the house. All right. Weekend vibes. Yeah. Dubai here. Love Dubai. I want to go visit Dubai soon. Maybe that's a little secret that we're gonna be visiting soon, a little bit later this year. So, Haley from Kentucky. Happy Friday from Toronto. Jafia from Toronto. What is going on, Jafia? New Jersey, Spain. Logan from New York. Something good that's happening in his life is his niece's birthday is tomorrow. Let's go. Okay, last we get a little party. Okay, we got Jordan from Jersey, Estonia. That is fun. Closing on a house in New Orleans. That's cool. Let's go. New York in the house. Let's go to Dubai. All right, let's go. Let's go to Dubai. Houston Elementary. Teacher getting ready for school year to start. Okay, cool. Big school year coming up, yeah. All right, we got Ohio in the house. Awesome. Cool. All right, so I think I got through most of the people, and if you're tuning in like midway through this, then I'll like give you a shout out, and we will get going, okay? We got a birthday coming up on Tuesday. Happy early birthday, Georgia in the house. Cool. All right, so Mexico City. All right, let's get going, okay. So it was neck and neck. I didn't know which one to do today, but it was neck and neck with our poll. So what I've been doing lately, if you're not watching my stories, you gotta watch my stories, is I'll let you guys choose the live topic. And so basically the options were, I'm gonna choose the options obviously, but you guys let me know which one you want. So we're gonna do daily healthy habits or getting back into some anonymous Q&As, okay? So anonymous Q&As, barely won. We had a good voter turnout. Appreciate all the voters that turned out. And so anonymous Q&A won. So that's what we're doing today, okay? So I recruited you guys, got some good questions here, and we're gonna go through them, okay? So I have pulled 7 questions that we're gonna go through, okay? So these I don't think I've gone through any of these before, so they're going to be brand new questions. If you're tuning in, this is your first time you're seeing one of these anonymous Q&As. I think this is like number 25 that I've done. I started doing these back in probably February. I think like Valentine's Day was the first time I started doing this, and so we've been doing every Friday, we do a live. And when I first started out, I was so bad. I sucked at this. I was so nervous because you guys make me nervous, but we've gotten a lot better. I'm just being me, and yeah, we got a lot better than these. So we're getting back into these a little bit. So sit back, relax, and let's get through some of these questions, okay? So there's not like any real theme to them, but these are gonna be the highlights. So we're gonna talk about Cologne. We're gonna talk about Spotify, like my music basically. We're gonna talk about green flags that we look for. We're gonna talk about 5 years from now, where I see myself. We're going to talk about starting from rock bottom. And then the last 2 have to deal with moving through grief and focusing on yourself. And then the very last one is going to be about being comfortable with being by yourself, okay? So let's get going, okay? And if you have any questions, I see all these comments coming through. I will maybe super answer them really quick if they're just super quick one-off ones that I can answer, okay? All right, so let's get going, yeah? So question number 1 is this. What is your favorite cologne that you like to wear day to day? So, love this question. So we got, lately, I probably have two I think typically like whatever cologne that I'm wearing like right now is usually my favorite cologne. So, basically right now, my favorite colognes, I probably have 2 that I like cycle through, but my favorite right now is called Azzaro, and the specific fragrance is called The Most Wanted. So Azzaro, The Most Wanted, try that out if you're a man or if you're a girl that likes to wear cologne. I'm telling you, try Azzaro, The Most Wanted out, and you will die and you'll never want to try any other cologne in your life, okay? So I wear that every day. I put like a squirt here, I put a squirt here, I put a squirt on my wrist, and like I'm good to go. So I do that in the morning after I get out of the shower. And if you want your cologne, if you want your fragrance to last a little bit longer, something that I've started doing is before I actually like put my cologne on, what I do is, if you're someone that wears like lotion or puts like body lotion on, what I do is after I get out of the shower, I like brush my teeth and stuff in the morning, and then I'll put this like Vaseline body lotion on, and then I'll actually put my cologne on. And so I'll make sure I put like my lotion like all around my body, but like specifically on the points where I'm gonna like spray my cologne. And so the reason that I do that is because if you've ever like had a cologne before that, or like a fragrance, if you're a girl, if you wear like perfume, that you feel like it just like goes away super quick and you can't really smell it throughout the whole day, then try like using some body lotion or like some Vaseline or something like that, and then spraying the fragrance on those specific spots, like on your wrists or your on your neck or your like inside your elbows, like on top of that lotion. And I swear to you, it'll last for you like the whole day, I swear to you. So my favorite cologne right now is Azzaro, The Most Wanted. And then my backup, something that's like on deck for me if I ever like want to try something else, is called it's called Ralph's Club by Ralph Lauren. So those are my top 2 favorite colognes right now: Azzaro, The Most Wanted, and Ralph's Club by Ralph Lauren, okay? So, favorite cologne knocked out. Number 2 is we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the music that I personally like to listen to. And so Favorite cologne is Tiffany for Men. Have you tried it? No, I probably have to try that out. I don't know why I haven't tried that out before, but Tiffany for Men sounds fire. All right, so we got Nina in the house. What is going on, Nina? Yes, bro, Ralph's Club is fire. 100% Diego, isn't it? I probably got it. I started using that a couple months ago, and then I just got this Azzaro one, so that's why I started using this one. But Ralph's Club by Ralph Lauren, super, super good too. All right, so next question is going to be about what is in my Spotify Wrapped. So I'm team Spotify. I don't know like what you guys are. Are you guys team Spotify? Are you Apple Music? Like which team are you guys on? Because I have always been on team Spotify, and I just have like never like switched over to Apple Music. So I'm on team Spotify, and what Spotify Wrapped is at the end of every year, you get a playlist that shows you the number, like top 100 songs or something like that you listen to for throughout the entire year. So Spotify, okay, you got a lot of team Spotify's here too. And so that is what Spotify Wrapped is. So like my 2022, I was like looking at like what artists are in my top, Spotify Wrapped songs really. And so I got a couple that I will mention as far as artists go, but I pretty much listen to like whatever kind of music really. But when I'm working out, I have specific artists that I like to listen to because it gets me in the zone, and I hit like really, really good workouts when I'm listening to like songs by them. Okay. So don't like judge me. I mean, judge me actually, please. But, the main artists that I like to listen to when I'm working out are Illenium, MGK, and Meek Mill. So those three songs, if I'm trying to like hit PRs, or if I'm trying to go for runs or something like that, then go for bike rides, then Illenium, MGK, Meek Mill are my go-tos. Those are my top three. Also like a little bit of Taylor Swift, not gonna lie. Like I'm kind of a Swiftie too. I didn't get tickets to her Eras tour, but like honestly, I'm kind of a Swiftie too. I like a lot of I like how she's making her own like Taylor version songs too. So that's my like guilty pleasure, if you will. So besides that, literally I listen to anything when I'm just like chilling and doing my work basically throughout the day. Tickets to My Downfall, yeah, hell yeah, MGK. And literally anything when I'm just chilling, when I'm just doing work. I don't really have like specific artists. I kind of just, something that's maybe unique that I do when I listen to my music. I don't know how you guys listen to your music, if you make playlists and just listen to your music like that. But the way that, it might sound weird, but like the way that I listen to my music is on Spotify, you have a bunch of songs that you can like you can favorite or heart. And so I'll do that for a lot of songs. If I ever hear a song that I want to know what song it is, I'll go to Shazam. I have the Shazam app. So I'll like Shazam what the song is, and it'll tell me what it is, and then I'll like immediately go to my Spotify and add it to my like songs, and then I'll just like play it. So I don't really necessarily make playlists. I just go to my like songs on Spotify and just listen to like the most recent songs that I've liked and just go down from there basically. So I don't know if you guys do that at all, if you guys make playlists, like let me know. Team Shazam, 100%. I've been using Shazam forever. Thank God for that. So I use Shazam all the time, LOL, 100%. And then besides that, I also like to listen to worship music too. Like sometimes, like if I'm towards the end of my workout, I'm just like in a mind, like a headspace where I need a little more God in my life, I'll listen to some worship music too. So some of my favorite artists, when I want to listen to that, are Elevation Worship. Super love them. Elevation is super good. Elevation Worship. Phil Wickham, and then Mosaic MSC. Mosaic is the church that I go to out here in LA, and those are my favorite three artists, bands to listen to when it comes to worship music. So Elevation Worship are the best, 100%. I really love them. They're probably like a big name in that category, but I'm kind of new to all this, so like I'm still kind of learning, but I love some of their songs. So yeah. All right, so we knocked off favorite cologne. We knocked off what is in my Spotify Wrapped. And so you should try K-Love radio station. I used to listen to K-Love. I used to listen to K-Love when I was back, when I was back in Pittsburgh, and I'd just be driving around. I used to remember what station it was, but I can't remember now. But I do remember when I first moved to LA, and I was like, and I was driving around, like I didn't know any of the radio stations, so I just would listen to my Spotify, right? And so the first radio station I went to was the K-Love station here in LA, and I'm like, what are the odds of that? So yeah. All right, so that is what is in my Spotify Wrapped. And so now we're gonna get into some juicy ones, a little bit, I guess, more juicy if you want to say that. So this next one, this question number 3 is, what are some of your green flags in relationships? So we're gonna talk about green flags in relationships now, okay? So for me, I was kind of thinking about this. I haven't really talked a whole lot about this kind of stuff, maybe since Valentine's Day when I started doing some of these lives. But yeah, let's talk about some green flags in relationships, okay? So I was thinking about this, and I think the number one thing, I think it just constantly is changing. The version of me even 6 months ago, yeah, that was Valentine's Day basically, would have maybe given a totally different answer. And I'm sure the person that I'm going to be in 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now would give you probably different answers too. But this is where I'm at and how I feel about it all right now. And so the number one green flag that I would want to look for in a relationship would probably just be asking this question. It would be, does this other individual, do they make me better? I know this is super, super high level, bird's eye level, but do they make me better? And do they give me a chance to make them better, right? And so I've just, that's kind of how I envision myself when it comes to dating and relationships going forward, for the rest of my life essentially, is thinking, does this person make me better as a man, being with them in a relationship, and do I make them a better person by being with them in a relationship? Top level, high level, bird's eye view level, it's do we make each other better, right? And so I would say the specific green flags that I would look for that would fall underneath that umbrella would be, the number one thing that I would have to say would be laughter. So you have to be laughing. I have to be laughing. I want them to be laughing when we're with each other. So I think laughter just has to be probably one of the top things for me, because I don't know, I think I don't know if you've ever laughed so hard that you've cried, because I'm someone that if I laugh super hard and I get to a point where I'm laughing super, super hard, then I'll just start crying. I don't know if you guys do that too, but that is one of the most freeing, best cures to anything you're going through, is just laughing so hard that you cry. And you're with someone that you really, really love hanging out with. And so I would say laughter is probably the biggest green flag in any relationship. And they have to be a Steelers fan, 1,000%. They have to be a Steelers fan. And I'm gonna try and get off this live by 4 p.m. PST so I can go watch the Steelers preseason game, or at least listen to it. So yeah, got to be a Steelers fan too. That's probably number 2. So, all right. So laughter is number 1. Steelers fan is number 2. And then number 3 is just having fun together. It's kind of off of these are going to be F's, So just having fun together. And that's got to be I don't know, one of the cornerstones of it all is okay, am I laughing with you? Am I having fun with you? That those just have to be the number 2, top 2 things, right? And so the last couple ones are sort of just personal for me, and what I would prefer when it comes to just green flags in a relationship. Obviously I feel most people would want to be laughing with someone, and most people would want to be having fun with someone. I feel that's pretty self-explanatory, right? So I would say these ones are a little bit more personal to me as far as like green flags that like I would want, that I would look for. And so they would be, actually, let me back up a little bit. There's one more I wanted to mention, and that was, I wouldn't say this nowadays because I super duper love like what I do right now for work. I super duper love like everything that I have the opportunity to serve with the work that I do within, you know, with my coaching and fitness. But I think it's not necessarily relating to like that, but I kind of think like, okay, like when I'm with this person, do they help me like forget about like my day job, if that makes sense at all? Like, I don't know if that like connects or like resonates with you guys at all, but sometimes I'll kind of think about that. It's like, do they bring me like fully present into the time when I'm like with them, right? And I kind of like just forget about like what I do like for the rest of my life. Like, what do I do for a living? What do I do for my job? What do I do for my career? And just kind of like forgetting about that. Not that like I want to, it's just that like that will always be there, you know what I mean? But I just want the time that I'm with them to be like all about like between us, you know what I mean? And it's not, I don't need to be like worried. All right, we're back. So yeah, sorry. I like set a limit on Instagram. I set like an app limit on Instagram, and it always hits like when I'm doing these lives, so I have to like forget. So yeah, what I was just saying is like, do they help me be present? Are they present with me like when we're spending time together? So yeah, and then just the last couple are like personal to me. So yeah, I like the ability to pause and disconnect to reconnect. Oh, I love that. Ability to pause, to disconnect, to reconnect. Isn't that cool? Love that saying. So yeah, these last ones are a little bit more personal to me. So super like duper big green flags for me would be faith, fitness, and family are like all a part of their lives, are all a part of their life. So sort of, I would definitely, I'd say like faith, family, and fitness in that order would 100% be like the biggest green flags for me. If you had nothing else, like if we're laughing together, if we're having fun together, if we're forgetting about what we do for our day jobs together, and faith, family, and fitness are like at like the top of our, you know, priorities when it comes to our lives, then those are my green flags. So that is, that's what I'm looking for. And I think that's what my answer would be as far as like what my green flags in relationships would be, if that makes sense. And if that resonates with any of you guys too. So we got, we got Cologne checked off the list. We've got Spotify Wrapped, my Spotify playlists checked off the list. And we've got green flags in relationships knocked out of the park. Okay. So the last couple ones, this one is going to be about where are we going for the future, okay? So this question is, how do you see yourself 5 years from now? So I have sort of answered this a little bit in some previous ones, but I will say that 5 years from now, I will have a wifey. 5 years from now, I'm gonna have some dogs, and I'm also gonna have a home. And then we're also gonna be having a very 7-figure business. That's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna have a wifey, dogs, a home, and we're gonna have a 7-figure business that we're running, okay? So that's where I see myself 5 years. When I'm 30, that is going to be the priorities. That is what we're working towards. That is what I'm making some sacrifices right now to get to that point 5 years from now. And I know without a doubt, like that's gonna happen. So that is my 5-year vision. I don't know where I'm gonna be living at, but that is, that's what we're manifesting. That's what we're gonna like visualize, and that's what like I'll like at night when I go to sleep at night, like that's where like I see myself. I place myself in those shoes of who I am like when I'm 30 years old, and those are the things that are gonna be in my life, okay? All right, so last couple ones. This one is a little bit more fitness related, so maybe this could be a little bit more of value to some of you guys if this helps at all. But this question is the following. Okay, so This one is, how do we get started if we are at rock bottom when it comes to our fitness and when it comes to our diet? Do we start slow and work up based on diet and exercise? And just like, can I get some tips relating to that? So, of course you can. That's what I'm here for, okay? So, what do we do if we're starting from rock bottom? What do we do if, maybe we're not starting from rock bottom for the first time? Maybe like we're going back, maybe this is like the second or third time we've hit rock bottom, What do we do? Like, where should we start if we don't really know what to do? What would be good places to start when it comes to our fitness, when it comes to our workouts, when it comes to our diet, okay? So I would say that breaking it down into super, super baby steps would be probably the first place that I would kind of recommend and to start off with. So the first place that I would probably say is getting an idea of a few things when it comes to like collecting some data as far as like how you're kind of going about your days when it comes to like your fitness, okay? So the number one thing I would say is let's start tracking our step count, okay? And so like whatever it's at, like we don't have to really shoot for a certain goal yet. It would just be like for the first week, let's take 7 days and we just track how many steps we're taking on a day-to-day basis, okay? And then also what I would say is for the first 7 days, let's get an idea of how many calories that we're eating on a day-to-day basis, okay? We don't have to shoot for goals. I just want to get an idea as far as how many steps we're taking, what is our activity level, and then how many calories are we eating on a day-to-day basis when it comes to our diet, okay? And then the third thing would be also tracking how much water that you're drinking on a day-to-day basis too, okay? So for the first 7 days, I would say let's just do that and let's get an average as far as what we're doing on a day-to-day basis when it comes to our steps per day, when it comes to number of calories we're eating per day, and then also when it comes to how much water we're drinking per day, okay? So like, I don't want to like, you don't want to just overwhelm someone whenever, obviously if they're starting from rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go but up, okay? So that's some good news. Good news is you can't get any worse from where you're at, okay? So for the first 7 days, let's just get an idea of some of these things. And ultimately, some of the goals that I would like us to sort of work towards is getting to a point where we can at least do about 10,000 steps per day. And so 10,000 steps per day is about 5 miles of walking per day. So if you're doing absolutely no cardio at all, other than just doing your steps per day, then ideally, if we can get 10,000 steps per day, that's the equivalent to 5 miles per day of just walking throughout your entire day. I think that would be a good goal that we can ultimately work towards, okay? And maybe we're starting off and we have like a super like work 9 to 5 desk job and we're not walking around a lot. Well, good news is I pretty much do the same thing, and what helps me get 10K steps per day is I literally go on a walk for 45 minutes and that helps me get 10,000 steps per day. I think I get like 11,000 or 12,000, and I'm literally sitting on my computer all day just working, like doing this all day. I don't move. So doing just a little 45-minute walk, and that'll help you get 10,000 steps per day, okay? It'll also increase your activity level, and you may not even have to go on any kind of like specific super healthy, diet if you just shot for like getting a good step count down, okay? You're gonna lose weight just by doing that, okay? If you wanna go a step further, then maybe we could shoot for hitting a certain calorie level. So maybe you've been used to just eating whatever you want, and now tracking your calories have been a little bit more, you get a little bit better of an idea as far as how much food you're eating on a daily basis, okay? So maybe you fluctuate out the wazoo, like day in and day out, right? So like maybe one day you're eating 3,000 calories. The next day, maybe you're eating 1,000 calories. Maybe the next day you're eating 2,000 calories. It's very inconsistent. It's very, fluctuates all the time. So maybe the next step would be, let's try and consistently hit about maybe 2,000 calories every single day while we hit 10K steps every single day, okay? And so maybe you're gonna lose even more weight because you're being a little bit more consistent on your diet. Now that we're consistently eating 2,000 calories every single day, okay? I don't want you to worry about macronutrients. I don't want you to worry about how much protein you need to hit, how many carbohydrates you need to hit, how much fat you need to hit, because it's probably gonna overwhelm you and you're probably gonna give up before we even get make any progress, okay? So maybe we do that for another week and we lose even more weight. Maybe we lose another 5 pounds or maybe we lose another 10 pounds. And so the next thing I would say is maybe let's start drinking a gallon of water every single day. And maybe you've been used to drinking alcohol, you've been used to drinking soda, you've been used to drinking, super high calorie juices, then literally just making the switch to saying, okay, I'm just gonna drink my gallon of water and I'm not gonna drink anything else. I'm just gonna drink my water. You can put like Mio in it, like flavor enhancer that'll actually make it taste better. That's what I do. I put this is about a little less than half a gallon right here. And so drinking like 2 of these every single day. And we do that for the next week. And so we just replaced all these calories that we're typically used to eating with straight up water, which good news, it has 0 calories. So that's gonna be like the next thing that I want you to do, okay? So it's just taking these baby steps, and then maybe we can start weight training a little bit. Maybe we can start tracking macros. Maybe we can download MyFitnessPal and start tracking macronutrients, getting an idea of that. And so maybe we can start weighing ourselves once a week. So just these baby steps, maybe we can start getting better sleep habits and patterns. So it's just taking these baby steps, but like the biggest thing for me is just, I don't want to overwhelm you with all these little things. It's just getting into habits, getting into these healthy habits. That was the other topic that I was going to talk about today. If you guys didn't want to hear this anonymous Q&A, maybe we'll talk about this next week. So yeah, if we're starting from rock bottom, then we take baby steps and go up from there. So that would be my 2 cents on that. And so last couple questions we're going to talk about is going to be these. So this one is, how do you get over a period of grief and start focusing on yourself? And then the last one is sort of similar, but not 100%. But it is, how do you feel comfortable with being by yourself? So let's get into this a little bit, okay? All right, I want to see if there's any comments I want to answer. Have you tried Propel water? I have. That used to be my go-to. Propel and Gatorade used to be my go-tos whenever I was growing up as a kid. So when I was playing sports and stuff, like soccer and football and baseball and stuff, I would just drink Propel nonstop. And so Propel and Gatorade, so that's great too. As long as it's 0 calories or close to 0 calories, by all means go crazy. So yeah, so these kind of questions. All right, so how do we get over a period of grief and start focusing on ourselves, and how do we feel comfortable with being by ourselves, okay? So I don't know what it is lately. Today, I got probably 3, which is a lot of messages for me. 3 messages that were sort of relating to this. I don't really get a whole lot of messages like this, but today was sort of an anomaly, and I figured this was a great question to select out of the ones that I got. So yeah, let's kind of just tackle these one step at a time, okay? So how do we get over a period of grief and start focusing on ourselves a little bit more, okay? And then we'll kind of get over, because I feel like that's the first initial point that is going to be this interrupt in our entire framework of our lives. And then we'll get to the point where okay, we're moved past that. Now how do we feel comfortable with just being on our own, by ourselves, okay? So the first thing that I would say is that I always knew what this word was, but I would say probably this year I've started to, it's taken on a whole new meaning for me, if that makes sense. So I would say that word is grace. So Grace, grace. So the first thing that I would say is that if you're super hard on yourself, if you're used to being super hard on yourself, if you're used to just not giving yourself some space to have feelings, have emotions, go through some kind of grieving process, some kind of healing healing time and healing process, then I would say look up that word, look up the definition of that word, and apply it to your life a little bit more. And offer yourself some grace during that period, okay? So I think it's kind of crazy for you to expect that to go from, day one, whatever that day was, up until like whatever point you're in your life, like however long, whatever this period of grief is like lasted for, like up until that point that like caused this like break, this pattern to like break, then it's kind of insane. It's kind of crazy to think that you could immediately just, the next day shut that part of your life off and then just keep moving forward like it didn't happen. So that's crazy to think that you could just do that, like snap your fingers, it's over, right? So I think you need to give yourself a little bit of grace and know that it might take a little bit of time to start to acclimate to a different life, like past that experience, okay? And that's okay. That's actually to be expected and probably recommended by every single therapist, every single psychologist you could probably go to in your life, So I'm just assuming and guessing, but I'd imagine that's probably a normal thing to do, okay? So giving yourself some grace, forgiving yourself, forgiving anyone else that you need to, but first and foremost, giving yourself some grace, giving yourself some forgiveness, and realizing that it's just going to take some time, It's just like, if you've ever lost a lot of weight, if you've ever changed your diet, if you've ever changed bad habits into good habits, if you've ever changed, you've had an entire like physique transformation, if you've seen any kind of growth in your mindset, that like it's a matter of like taking the reps. You know what I mean? It's a matter of like showing up to the gym, a few days a week for a few years in a row. And then you slowly but surely like change your entire physique. You change your entire like mindset. You change your entire mentality. If you've ever like read a book, start to finish over like a few months or a few days or a few weeks, like you realize that you're a different person before you read that book, right? So it's just a matter of like taking the reps and realizing that, okay, my first rep is going to be super, super bad, but I can't wait to see what my 100th rep is going to look like. I can't wait to see what day 1000 is going to look like 3.5 years from now, or 3 years from now. So it's going to take some time, but you'll get there. And, it's just like day after day waiting there and you're going to get there. So the last one is, how do you feel comfortable with being by yourself? So I feel like this is a good extension to this last one, and I'll wrap it up here. But one thing that has helped me is finding a routine that I really, really love and I really, really enjoy. So I could not recommend like falling in love with a routine that you really enjoy and that you really love. So there's like things that like I start my day with that if I don't start with them, it kind of like throws my entire day off. You know what I mean? So finding some kind of routine that you really enjoy. So for me, it's like waking up in the morning, doing my prayer, doing my reading, doing my workouts, getting my stretching in, getting my journaling in. Like, I love my routine. And whenever I like get through that, it's like another day added on. It's like another rep added on to the person that like I want to ultimately become. So yeah, falling in love with a routine, it just takes time, and it just takes time to like acclimating to being on your own, like being like falling in love with like who you are, right? And sometimes like you lose that when you're like surrounded by people all the time, you know what I mean? And so you kind of go through this no man's land a little bit of discovering that, and it's kind of scary. Like when I first found myself in like a no man's land place, like, it might happen several times, you know what I mean? It's kind of scary. You think you're gonna like not survive because you've just been so used to having people like around you all the time. But something that's really, really beautiful about having time to yourself is you start to listen to your own voice, and your voice becomes a little bit louder, and it becomes a little bit more confident, and it becomes a little bit more, outspoken and outgoing, and you start to fall in love with your own voice a little bit more day after day. So that's something that you have to look forward to, and that's all that I wanted to say on this live, okay? So focus on rebuilding you inside and out. We love that. All right, I think that's a good way to cut this. I love you guys always. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys this time next week. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about some daily healthy habits that we didn't get a chance to really dive into too much today, but maybe we can do that next Friday, okay? All right, I love you guys, and have a safe Friday and lovely weekend, okay? Peace.